What's going on, beautiful people? Will taking over here today just to give you a quick message. Unfortunately, we won't have a video format in this episode. So if you're watching this on YouTube, we apologize in advance. But hey, please make sure you listen to this whole conversation I have with Brad about how to release your song successfully. What kind of assets you need, what kind of artwork, how many posts, and all that, all the good stuff. Also, if you want to learn more about music production, music business, everything music, please make sure you subscribe to our channel or follow us on Spotify. And that's it. I see you next time on episode 92.
The Radium Podcast, episode 91. We're back, 91. 91. How do you say it in Portuguese?
That's Portuguese. 91.
91.
That's Portuguese with Will Martins.
Will Martins, thanks for tuning in.
Private,
okay, that's a wrap.
Private lessons.
Private lessons with his tongue. So yeah, it's really funny, man. Like we've been talking about this a lot lately, but I figure we kind of bring this into the podcast. Mm-hmm. Just because we've been rolling out music like crazy.
Finally, right?
Under Radium, right?
Stop talking and stop rolling.
Yeah, start rolling it.
Yep.
Like that Fred Durst song. Rolling. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember now.
Yeah, Limp Bizkit is what we've been doing. But yeah, we've been rolling out records, and this is something I kind of wanted to bring to attention to anybody rolling records out on their own without a label, without a publisher, without, help and money and all that good stuff.
Right.
What's been your experience? Like, what are you doing? Because I see you got like all the graphics together, you got all your color schemes.
Yeah. I mean, I've been really blessed because I studied all that shit for 4 years. I went to advertising college, marketing and all that. And I worked as an art director for almost 4 years as well.
Yeah.
In ad agencies, before even working professionally with music, I was already doing graphics and marketing campaigns and products and mock-ups and all that good stuff. So that's an advantage that I have, but you don't need to have like a bachelor's in advertising to start planning your marketing campaign better, because that's a flaw that I see most of artists, independent artists, they have, and they don't look for help. They try to figure it out by themselves and just look crappy. Those crappy artworks. They don't have a plan with social media. Everything is like handheld cameras and shaking videos, and everything looks terrible.
I shot it on my iPhone, like bragging about it.
Yeah,
we know.
Exactly.
We know you shot it on your iPhone. We can see that. Like, you don't need to brag about that. That's cool, but
exactly. But yeah, man, what I've been seeing results now with my music is the fact that I start planning in advance. So right now I have 10 songs is my plan for the 2021, and I already dropped 2. I have one coming out the end of this month. And what I do usually, I prepare a month in advance all the graphics. So I have like a mood board where I'm gonna determine all the color schemes of my song, all the imagery, like what reminds me of the song, and what kind of assets I need, its posts, its videos, and I make a list. I basically make a list of assets that I need. Yeah. Is that the artwork in high resolution? Is the photo shoot? We did a photo shoot this weekend for my next song and for your song together. And there are many ways that people can do that within the budget as well. That's really important to say, because people think they get overwhelmed, right? Like the artists get overwhelmed with the music part, and they say, oh man, now I need to do some graphics and I need to figure out my photo shoot and I need to do this and that. Stop. You don't need to figure it out everything by yourself. I bet right now someone that can help you with a free photo shoot. Like my 2 first photo shoots, I did in my iPhone.
Right.
Straight up, like grab my iPhone, got a couple of lights, ask for a friend for help.
And the quality is going to be shitty. You just go with it.
Yeah, exactly. But I did
go with the vibe. It's like lo-fi kind
exactly.
of vibe, right?
And I did my best to make a quality, make the best of it, you know. So what I did, I brought some lights. I really like dial in on the focus on the iPhone, because if you just put everything in auto, it's you're playing with fire there.
Yeah.
You know, so like there are some apps that you can control the exposure. You know, even the ISO, like you can mess with the ISO. There's some apps that allows you to do that on the iPhone. I don't remember the name now, but yeah, you just Google it, you'll find like 3 or 4. But yeah, man, I think the planning part, it's been helping me a lot, because once I have a plan, once I have the asset list in front of me, I know exactly what to attack. And since I'm starting my release campaign like 6 weeks, even sometimes 2 months before,
right,
I can do like in a very doable pace, instead of, oh my god, my song drops next week, I don't have an artwork. You know? No, so that's the first thing I would say to all independent artists: have a plan.
Yeah, I think an important aspect of all this stuff is that you know, you want to just have things on the calendar, right? Like, it doesn't mean you're going to hit those deadlines, but it's something to strive towards, and you can always move the deadline. Like, I see a lot of artists like getting so bogged down with like having to hit exact deadlines. And the truth is like, what ends up happening, they don't have a team put together. They don't have the resources. They don't have the money, the budgets, all that stuff. So what they end up doing is, oh, well, this is my deadline, so I'm just going to put it out anyway. And it's like, but you never got the artwork done. You just threw it together, you know. You never like went through the revision rounds and like talked it through and like really, you know, got your vision together of the song full on. And I think it's really important that's treated really like the at the utmost importance. It's not that you hit that deadline. It's that you release something that is fully realized.
Exactly. And most importantly of what you just said is no one is waiting for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
unless you're like a huge artist. And even if you are a huge artist, nobody's waiting.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, you know, you get to like a Drake level, and no one was waiting on Drake. Like, he just drops whenever he wants now, you know? And same like Foo Fighters, you know? Like, Foo Fighters released an album. You know, nobody was waiting on that. No one's going like, oh, when does that Foo Fighters album come out? You know, people are just like consuming all the massive amounts of music that's coming out every Friday, you know, all around the world. Like, we're up to like, what, 40, 50,000 songs dropping per day on Spotify. Per day. Exactly. So at this point, nobody's really waiting. You don't need to, there doesn't need to be this rush to like rush out your next song.
Exactly.
You know, and maybe like one of the best pieces of advice that I ever got about this stuff, you know, I'm just starting to release music. I'm just about to release a song, you know, but, you know, I haven't played in this game, in this 2021, you know, streaming and get your music and stream and keep putting out records all the time. But
and playlisting.
Yeah. But of course I've been a part of a ton of those records, right? Mixing them, mastering them, recording them, producing them, whatever.
Right.
And the biggest thing I notice is like, I'm not getting a bunch of income from that. I'm not seeing these artists like just blow up that I worked with. Yeah. Even if they're bigger artists that have a big following, you know, I'm still not seeing like, oh, wow, look at my BMI. You know, look at how much money I'm making. Like, it's not about that. It's about like really, truly building a brand. Yeah. And playing the consistency game. And
songs for artists these days is just a handshake.
Yeah.
They think their songs are their business model, which is totally not.
No, it's like a commercial. It's like putting out new content, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we put out new content almost daily.
Yep.
Like, think about that. Like, Radium's constantly putting out content. We're not going like, oh, this next podcast is going to make us $1 million. It's going to be the hit.
Oh,
you know, but it's a way for people to, you know, stay connected with you, stay understanding like what's important to you, what you're up to. I love the idea of switching up vibes, like with songs. Like, you drop a new song, like switch up the vibe, like get a new photo shoot, you got new artwork, what the song's about, like live the lifestyle of what that song is, like live it, you know, personify it and just go all the way into it. And then, you know, like all the tools that these DSPs are giving you now, while they're kind of ridiculous and cheesy, they're also they're cool tools, you know. Some of them, like, you know, being able to change your banner on Spotify and your artist picks and your playlists and all that stuff. Like, you have to really truly participate. And if you're not willing to do that, and you just want to be the guy that's like, yo, I just dropped my shit,
I make music,
and, you know, I'm dope and all that stuff, like, then you're going to need a big label behind you.
Yeah.
A label that actually cares about you too. Like, it's just not, we're not in that realm where you can just kind of make great music. Yeah. Great music's the starting point, it's the prerequisite. You better have great records.
Yeah.
They better sound amazing, and they better be mixed well, and they better be recorded well, and have great stories and hooks and all that stuff. That's just prereq, man. Like, now, what's the visuals for? What are you trying to convey? Where are your photos? Where's all the content you're going to drop every single day around the song for months?
Yeah, that's something important I want to touch base as well. Is artists, you need to create more content around the song. The song by itself,
so much more.
The song by itself is not gonna hold it.
It can't, like, think about a song like just holding it up by itself. It's impossible, dude.
Like a great example.
You gotta have a massive hit to even do that.
Exactly. So artists are thinking about the song, they're thinking about artworks and music video. That's all they think about. Which is, I mean, if you think about this other thing, like the music video and the artwork, you're already like a little ahead of most of people. But
facts.
You have to even go further in 2021. You know, like, you have to think about ways to create engagement within the theme of the song. Like, right now I just dropped a song called Açaí, right? And a way that I thought, and açaí, if you don't know, it's just a Brazilian fruit. It's really good. You eat like in bowls, stuff like that. And the way I thought about to create content around, it was just making a Reels TikTok video of me sharing my favorite recipe of açaí. And people like got crazy with that. Yeah. And I used my own song on the background of the video. So people are like, oh, you know, it's the vibe and me making the recipe, and it went like crazy, you know, like my engagement, like 51 shares. Like, I have no piece of content that had 51 shares on my profile other than that. Like, you know, it's totally organic. And people engage with that. They start using the songs, and they start understanding the whole concept of the song in something outside the song.
I think it's really actually important to understand that we now have genres of music that are related to social media platforms.
Yeah, totally.
Like, TikTok has its own genre
TikTok
of music.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like, it's like, what are you making? Oh, I'm making a TikTok song. You know? Like, but here's the thing, like, that's how the future goes, because you have so many apps, so many creators, and you have everybody with a mobile device, and you have computers and computing power going crazy.
Facts.
Like, there's going to be new everything, and everything's going to need music, right?
Right.
And that doesn't mean that it stops at the music. It means they're going to have visual aspects and movies and creator stuff and coloring and retro filters, and, you know, and the music, like, you have to realize your vision for the music, not only just around your own story, but around creating content for platforms that people are, like, literally living on.
Yeah.
Like, we live these platforms. Like, people have it in their pocket. They're looking at it 6, 7, 10 hours a day, and they're living it. Like, this is their, like, TikTokers, that's their life, bro. Like, it's a sad existence, but at the end of the day, like, you know, whatever, do your thing. Like, you know, I grew up skateboarding, and I skateboarded every day, and I was, like, literally just labeled a skater, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like, that was my existence. And then it was like musician, and then it's like, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, fine. You can be a TikToker. You can be an influencer on social media. Yeah, you can be a Twitch streamer. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, like, that's a lifestyle choice for people. So all of these platforms need consistent and constant streams of new flavors and new styles and new things to mess with, you know?
Yeah.
And it does feed other platforms. It feeds your Spotify, it feeds your Instagram, it feeds, you know, it feeds an actual brand establishment.
Yeah, and attract brands as well.
Exactly.
That's so important. Like, Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak just dropped this new song together, and Lacoste is sponsoring the whole campaign. Yeah. They have this Ricky
Ricky Jarvis, I think it is.
Ricky something, Ricky Marvis, I don't know, something like that. Which is pretty cool. Like, they went to this retro vibe, 50s, 70s, you know, like, type of clothing, and they like Lacoste did a whole
It's definitely 70s.
70s, yeah. Sorry, yeah,
probably late 70s. Even,
yeah,
with
late
the jumpsuits
70s.
and shit. Yeah,
exactly. They went to those jackets, old jackets from Lacoste. So they did a whole collection based on the song, which is
so important.
Could you imagine how much money they put into that?
Well, yeah, but how much money are they going to make?
No, of course, obviously, but
right.
They build a brand into that point that, and also like the song itself. My point with this is that the song
is the campaign.
And it went so much further than only the music aspect.
Facts. And I think that's an important thing to understand about what music is nowadays.
Yes.
It is not just music streaming off of Spotify.
Yeah.
It is the true visual experience of like what it stands for, what it represents, the singer behind it, the style behind it, the clothing, the photos, the videos, the remixes, the TikToks, the reshares, another great example is what Kato on the track, right? Instagram beatmaker guy came up, did the BeatStars thing, right? And he just started like this campaign of doing like duet me on TikTok, right?
Oh, I saw
like he would just make a beat and he'd drop like really basic ass beats, right? Yeah. But that wasn't the point. The point was he was doing it with an audience already. He had an audience, so he's serving his audience, and then he would have people just literally like rap into their iPhone speaker, and cut a record, and then like repost these records, and then one of the records went like literally viral. They recorded the whole song, released it. It was like the top viral hits on Spotify in the whole world.
That's crazy.
Right? Because it's like you're being creative about how you move and you're getting people involved.
Yeah.
And that's just truly just making the music for TikTok. Yeah. And then it carrying over to Instagram and carrying over to Spotify and carrying over to a fan base and going viral and doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
Virality is something that everybody's chasing, but at the end of the day, you don't really need to chase it. You just need to chase a creative campaign idea and stick to it. It's like commercial campaigns, right? Like they're like easy example, right? Mac versus PC.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Perfect.
The campaign was just it was straight up like this is our campaign. This is how we're going to attract people. The PC's this older, like kind of nerdy, out of touch guy, and the Mac is this cool guy, and he doesn't care. He's just a chill dude, and he's relevant.
Creative,
yeah, he's creative, and that was the campaign. And then of course, like you had music and stuff for that, but like nowadays, 2021, like you have to think like you're making a campaign. You're pitching to the world like your music and your sound and your sonics and your vibe and who you are and like what character you want to play. You know what I mean? And it can't just be the same thing every time. Like that's what I think is like a big no-no with this stuff is like you got artists out there that are like just doing the same thing over and over again. Like I'm this artist. This is what I do. These are the styles of music I do. It's like,
exactly.
Nah, bro, switch it up. Like get on a collab, do something different because you got to get into a new campaign, reach a new audience.
Yes.
Because you're not going to like keep making those trap records and like all of a sudden like people are going to be like, oh, you're so original with your trap. Like there's very few people in the world, those outliers, the Malcolm Gladwell theory. It's like you're going to have outliers that pop off, of course, but most of them are just going to be like bloop, bloop. They're just going to bubble and drop and pop,
Yeah.
So you got to get creative with it. Like Drake is a great example as well. Like he jumps on trends. He goes and he changes his campaign, right?
Justin Bieber
Justin Bieber
was in electronic and
campaigns, baby.
Country music.
And, now he's got the spiritual, gospel kind of album.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically ripped off Kanye West, just doing it in a pop sense, right?
Exactly.
Like now here's my coming of age, my Christian album. But it's like, dude, those are campaigns.
Yes.
Because people want to know that you're more dynamic of a person.
Yes.
I don't want to talk to or listen to someone that's just like, I like soccer. Yeah,
that
soccer balls, soccer shoes. Like you just like, cool, man. Do you got anything else going on?
Yeah.
Soccer. Like you're like, okay, I can't really have a conversation with this person. I can't actually relate to anything else with them. They're very shallow as a person.
Yes.
And that's what people look at you as an artist. They think you're shallow when you can't do other things. Like you're like, oh, here's another trap record. Here's another trap record. Here's another trap record. I'm dressed the same way. I'm doing the same thing. This is me. This is just me, bro. But it's like, but if you're that shallow person that's all you do, Trap records. Like, there's no comedy in your shit. There's nothing else. Nothing that you like to eat. Nothing that, like, nothing around who you are. And they can't go deeper with that. Mm-hmm. It's just like,
whatever.
Boring. Moving on.
Yeah, exactly. And the market will be judging that.
Facts.
It would judge that and will show you, like, yeah, you're not relevant anymore because that's not relevant anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, guys, just coming back to our what I was saying about the strategy and everything, like, it all relates. Not coming back, having a plan in place is really important, but also be true to yourself. It's another thing.
If you like coffee, like, do some coffee shit.
Exactly.
If you like acai, like, just do that video, like, make that song.
And it was so easy for me to do that song because it was so true to myself.
Yeah, it's part of who you are.
Yeah, exactly. And me sharing, fucking recipe, people like digging it, and we had conversations like people who don't like acai, and they listen to the song and say, yeah, I like the song, but I don't like acai,
Right.
So you create conversations. You create a real connection with people.
Absolutely.
And that's what art and music is all about. If you're not in music to create connections, what are you here for?
Yeah, you're not going to make a bunch of money.
You're not.
I'll tell you that much. You
definitely won't.
And if you do, like,
wow,
give it up.
Yeah, I'm the cool guy. This is who I am.
I'll make a bunch of money off music.
Don't talk to me.
Sure you do.
Yeah.
You probably spend just as much as you make, if not more. But, like, the truth is, at the end of the day, I think you nailed it on the head. It's like, you have to be true to yourself, and you got to figure out, like, music's a self-discovery tool. Like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, you can have, like, people that break, right? And I've been using Russ a lot as examples of what not to do.
Right.
But there's also, like, something he does obviously very well, right? And his song that helped him break into the market was a breakup song about a girl that kept cheating on him, right? And he actually used everybody's name in it that was involved in the whole thing, right? And it was very true to himself. And that was the song that really broke for him, right?
That's
like
crazy.
Went gold, like, made him break as an artist. Because it's like, finally, I think artists, like, you keep trying to be somebody else.
Right.
But when you look at your stories and you look at what you've done,
you have so much content.
There's so much. There's food you like, there's relationships you've had, there's, your mom, your family life, your dogs, like, there's so much stuff. Like, there's your heartbreaks, there's the businesses you started, the hustles you've done that didn't come through, the drugs you've sold, the time you got in trouble, when you went to jail, when you were on probation, when your friend stabbed you. Like, you got to tell the stories, and people got to connect with those things. Facts. And it can't just be trying to front on somebody you're not,
Yeah.
Like, just find the stories in you. Like, and a lot of artists and producers are struggling with the fact they have no stories because they sit in a room making music all day.
Exactly.
Like, you're not getting any input.
Yeah, you're not getting new experiences to talk about in your music.
Yeah, what are your experiences? Oh, I had a year where I went on tour. Big fucking deal. That's your whole life. Like, what else have you done? Oh, and then I just have been making beats in a bedroom for, like, 12 years.
Exactly.
Like, that's not an experience. Like, go live a little bit.
Yeah.
Go get your heart broken. Like, go and then tell stories about that. Make music around that.
Yeah.
Like, let people get to know you a little bit deeper,
Facts.
Like, nobody, I think, honestly, the death of, like, being the cool guy, it's just right. It's gone. Like, that idea's gone.
It's gone. It's definitely gone. Like, I think that
it's just not, like, it's not relevant anymore. It's an old school thinking,
People want to have connection. They want to feel represented. They want to feel that someone in the other side is a real person.
Yeah.
Not like, even like when you Photoshop too much or your pictures, people will judge you, like, why you're hiding yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I think, like, the handheld thing, it's been a success because it shows, like, the real thing. But at the same time, of course, in just coming back, what I just said is just don't use that much, if you want to create, like, a brand.
There's just there's different avenues for things.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a balance of being real and looking good.
Yeah.
You also, of course, you want to look good and you want to make your sound great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, we want to have mistakes. We want to show that I have a pimple here right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fucking human being.
Right.
And when I got out of tune, like, micro sense, it's fine. Don't take that shit off.
Right.
It shows to people that I'm not a robot.
Yeah.
You know, people
or
want
you're
to
just
like
trying to hide something.
everything is perfect, aligned, and everything on grid, and like my Photoshop, photo shoot is perfectly.
Yeah,
aligned.
people don't connect with that anymore.
No, they don't.
You know, I think the reason being is because everyone's got a phone with the filters and all the settings on it.
Yeah.
They know what you can do with it. They're not idiots. And like the new generation of kids coming up, and I mean like kids like that are, in their teens right now.
Yeah.
They understand all this shit. They make fun of it all over TikTok. Yeah. They're making fun of everybody that's old school that just, acts like they don't know this shit. Like it's obvious to them. You know, so like when you're talking about gunslinging and doing the shit you're not doing, and you're like, got all this money that's not yours and it's not your bag and all that stuff.
Yeah, they calling you out.
They're going to call, dude, the kids don't care anymore. They're just like, oh, really cool, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They're not streaming your music and going like, that's badass. Mm-hmm. I mean, some kids are, very, very kind of out of touch kids, I think.
Yeah.
Where they really don't know how to use the phone. They're like, I didn't know that had a filter and that's how they did it,
Yeah.
But it just takes a couple YouTube videos, right? A couple YouTube videos away, they know like how auto-tune works.
That's
they
crazy.
don't need to, you don't need to hide shit basically. But get out there, tell your story, and be authentic and make tons of content. Like
tons of content.
Around your song, around your story. Like,
hey, wearing the acai shirt, by the way.
Yeah, go get a acai shirt.
Link in description.
And also go to Backyard Bowls if you're in LA, because they got some super dope acai bowls. But
no, they're good.
They're good. I like that.
They're just not legit, but they're good.
They're not legit, but who gives a shit? They're delicious.
I know. No, they're good.
It's like when you take something.
You gave me one in my birthday. Remember?
They're so good.
I love that. Yeah.
But definitely go check them out.
They're good.
But that's it. That's all I got to say about it. I think a lot of this is like kind of common sense.
Yeah.
But dude, like if you're not willing to put in the work, don't even put music out.
Yeah.
It's not even worth it.
Yeah. If you don't have an artwork, videos in place, 12 posts. I usually do 12 posts minimum per release. Don't even put music out, guys.
It's not even worth it. It's like just make music for you. Send it to your lover and like
it's gonna flop.
Yeah,
it's gonna flop. And we need to do another Radium podcast just talking about ads, because combined to that's just one part of your release, guys. It's just the creative artsy part. There's the marketing data, which Brad knows a lot about it, and we should definitely do another.
Yeah, like everybody's not your fan.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need to put acai in front of everybody.
They're
like, what the fuck is this shit?
Dudes, yeah.
Like spending ad dollars on boosting posts and shit.
Definitely not.
But anyway, that's it. That's a wrap. Episode 91. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment, show some love on this stuff, and go follow Will at Will Martin's Music on IG.
And this guy, Brelly HD, everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere basically. I'm global.
Yeah, I saw an outdoor the other day, Brelly HD.
Yeah. But we're at my house, so it's
yeah, all right.
All right, take it easy.
All right, guys. Peace.